Hello, can I be heard?
Yes, you can be heard.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity given. My name is Bruce. I'm currently the NUGS-CHINA president. Briefly, I'll introduce the purpose for this program. So I think most of us here are students and we are on vacation. So we have some of us being academic professionals from PhD, postdoc, masters, and perhaps maybe there are some bachelors also here. However, there has been a concern for people not having the right tools to look for the literature that they have to use when they are doing their literature review. So this program basically hopes to equip us all to know various tools that we have currently, and with the AI tools that are always coming up, we want to use some of them to help us in our literature review. So that's why we are here, just to equip us with such tools, and then we'll be able to empower ourselves as academic giants. Yeah. So that's the reason why we are here, the purpose for this program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President, for your words so sweet. So going forward, we will introduce the speaker right away so that we can go into the event. And this is no other person than Frederick, our financial secretary, who is in the person of Bennett. Let me get the name clear. Samuel Awatri. Yeah, Samuel Awatri. So we invite our organizer rather, Samuel Awatri, to take over from here. Thank you.
Okay. Can I be heard and seen?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Clearly, yeah.
Okay, so let me just quickly share my screen and then we can begin. Chat. Hold on a little. Okay. Can my screen be seen now?
Yes, it can be seen now.
Okay, so welcome everybody. My name is Samuel Awatri, and I'm currently in San Jalton University, studying electronic science and technology, masters, focusing mainly on semiconductor devices. Yeah, it's my privilege to be here today to talk to everyone here about how we can go about our research life and how to find relevant sources and go about to identify so that we can help us in our research and stuff. So yeah, that's just a little about me. Okay, so going forward, I will start from little tips for research. For our research, I will talk a little also bit about Boolean operators. We will go ahead to use Google Scholar, PubMed, and Elicit to go through some of them and how we are going to identify, go through or access some of these papers when we don't have institutional access, because a lot of students don't have this institutional access, so we will go through them. But then before, we have two sections. So the first section, maybe I can be able to talk about just the first part and second part, or maybe a little bit of the third part. And then when we come back again, we have our break and come back again. I will talk about the fourth part and then we conclude for the day. And the second presenter is going to talk about how we are going to use our institutional access and also use some AI tools in order to get our papers that we need. All right, so straightforward. Talking a little bit about research. we want to look at effective research as a whole because we are students and we are given topics or we have things we need to search about, but then now we need to look at how effective are we going to research these things so that we won't waste time, right? So that's leading us to strategic research. So strategic research where we have a strategy, we have a plan of how to go about our research. And then talking about strategy means in a way that is a smart way. So in a smart way, like smart research. Like let me use example. When we wake up in the morning, right? And then we have any maybe we bath, we do whatever we are supposed to do, we go to the canteen, we eat. We have energy 100%. And then we are given a topic like do a research about this thing, write something about this thing. So that's where the topic is being. So like the whole research thing is a process where the topic is given. So the first part where we are going to talk about the topic being given to us. And then the second part, we are going to talk about the a search as a whole where you are going to search on the topic. And the next part, when you search for the topic, search a lot of information. You need to read and select which ones you are going to use. And then finally, we go to the writing part, right? So literally what you are going to read, the knowledge you are going to get is what you are going to like implement, what you are going to write. So if you get the wrong information, that means you are going to write a wrong thing on your paper. But if you get the right information, that means you're going to get the right thing on your paper. So yeah, why do ask myself, okay, so why do we even need this effective research? Then it comes to the point where, okay, so you go to the canteen and then you take the food, right? So you have 100% energy in you and you come to your lab and you start your research. So starting your research and you have, let's say your professor has told you, you have 1 month in order to finish this thing. So there's a time limitation. That's the first point, time limitation. And then if you are not finding the right source or the right resource that you need, that means already you are waste of energy, like you are wasting energy at the end of the day. That's one thing also. You are going to waste energy going through a whole lot of research and then waste of resources. Obviously, you're going to use internet, lights, and stuff like that. So when you are not finding the right information, you are wasting resource also. And the last one I can talk about like frustration, where you get frustrated to the point where, okay, you are not finding what you are supposed to get. So then you are frustrated, you are tired, you don't even want to continue anymore. So when you came to the office with 100% of your energy, not finding the right source, the right resources, going to drop your energy down from the 100% energy you brought to 30%, and then you get frustrated and maybe you will leave the lab at the end of the day and you find out that the 1 month time that was given to you catch up with you and you have like 3 days to submit and still you have not been able to done anything yet. So that is the main reason why now we need to talk about strategic research, a smart research, or we being selective about our own information. All right, so then someone will ask, okay, so how do I go about this effective research, strategic research or smart research? And the first point I'll talk about, like, we have to set goals for ourselves. Like, what are you researching about? You have your topic. So what are the kind of search engines that you are going to use? What are some search engines reliable? Maybe some of them are not reliable. Or which one do you want to use? Which one has been effective to you? So you have to set those ones aside and say, okay, these are the ways I go about my research. When a topic is given, this is how I break down my topic. So that is one point. And then we have to also take it a step at a time, where research, you're doing research, but then you need to make sure like you are giving the topic, you cannot just jump straight forward to writing. You need to take it a step at a time, find the type of resources, which type of resources do you need, the necessary, the relevant papers, not just go on Google Scholar or anywhere, just get one paper and say, okay, you are done. No, you have to take it a step at a time, continue searching and going through and find the right one. And the third one I'll talk about is walking away from unnecessary source. The unnecessary source meaning that maybe you are searching about maybe effect of something, but then in your topic, it requires you to talk about the local, maybe the local effects. And then you have found this paper in which is talking about maybe international effects. That is one way or the other, you are going to get a little bit of information out of that paper, but then you should also make sure that it's not really related to what you need to work on. It's a little bit far away from where you want to work on. And sometimes I think we find it difficult to walk away from some papers, even though it's not related to what we are working on. It may be a little bit related, but not completely, because of maybe the time that we wasted on, the type of resources, the energy we wasted on reading the paper. So we find it a little bit difficult to walk away, but then we should try our best to walk away if it is not in our scope of what we are searching for. So then everything I've said now leads us back to, okay, then smart research and strategic research, and being selective about our information. Which kind of information do we need? Which kind of sources are we going to need? And which kind of sources are we going to need to go through our research? Okay, so going on, right. So I'll be talking about mainly about Boolean operators. Boolean operators is just operators. This is going to help us refine our search or maybe filter our search. So we are going to be more practical today. So you can also be practicing with me in case you want to. We are going to be more practical, and yeah, let's go straight ahead to our, okay, using Google, just Google. So just normal operators to refine our search. So example, let's search something about, we want to know something about maybe cats and dogs, just normal cats and dogs, right? Cats and dogs, just normal cats and dogs, just, it's normal, it's nothing
Hello, Honorable
serious about it.
Samuel.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but we are currently seeing your PPT. We don't see the Google.
You can't see my
Yes.
screen?
We see the PPT, not the other screen.
Okay, let me check. Can it be seen now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we are just talking about normal cats and dogs. We just want to know something about cats and dogs. So we go to our Google research cats and dogs, just normal. Okay, normal cats and dogs. So let's say cats and dogs. We will just want to see just any random information. So we go down cats and dogs, giving us all information on Google, giving us all information about cats and dogs. But then here we want to refine our search, right? So we are going to use Boolean operators. Boolean operators in our this thing, we have the and, we have the or, we have the not. So these are some Boolean operators that we will be using, for example. Okay, so but then in Boolean operators, for Google to identify, or our search engine to identify that this is a Boolean operator that we are going to use, we need to use and in the middle, and it should be capitals like cats and dogs. Or when we are using the or, it should be maybe something like cats or dogs. Or maybe we want to use the not, so cats, not dogs. So this is how we are going to use it. It's not supposed to be small letters, but then it should be capital. All right, so let's go straight and see what do we have. Cat and dogs, right? So we click on it, and then we'll see. So in this Boolean operator, what I'm trying to tell Google to do for me is just to give me information about cats and dogs, like any context, anywhere cats and dogs are being used, it can just give me. So we go down and see which kind of information Google. We have cats and dogs here, cats and dogs. It's raining cats and dogs, raining cats and dogs, cats and dogs. Okay, so just cats and dogs. That means information relating to both cats and dogs are the ones supposed to show me. Okay, so what if I don't want that, but then I just want something like maybe cats or dogs? So just information about it. So now I'm telling Google that, okay, give me information about cats. It can be cats or it can be dogs, or it can also be both, but then it can mostly, it's supposed to be like cats or dogs. So cats or dogs, straight away, we just go and research what do we have, cats or dogs. So now we can see, even with the images, we can see it's here showing us cats here. We go down again, we see cats and dogs. It can give us information about cats and dogs also, but then mostly what I'm trying to tell Google is give me information about cats or dogs. Okay, so we can see here, cats giving us information about cats again. Here, dogs only, dog facts and photos. Okay, cats again, domestic cats. We go back, we go further. Why do cats and dogs, cats? Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say here is when we are using the Boolean operators, we can use two objects by the use of and, putting two objects together to search about information about two things, or by using the or to search information about either this or that. So you can give me information about cats, or you can give me information about dogs. So another example, we can talk about something like maybe education, education and Boolean operator, capital, and training. All right, so education and training, right? Education and training. So in this statement, I'm telling Google to give me information about education and training at the same time. So any context in which education and training has been used, I want to see. All right, so straight away, I can see education plus training and education plus what is the difference between training and education and training, training versus education and training. All right, so this is basically giving me information about education and training at the same time. What if I don't want education and training, but maybe I want to see something about only education? So then in this context, I can use not. So education, not training. So specifically, I'm trying to tell Google that, okay, I want to see education, not training. But then in some context, you see that, okay, it's the main focus. You can see training also in the context, but then the main focus here that it's trying to say is like, it's going to talk more of education. Like education is not the learning of facts. What is the difference between education and training? Did Einstein say education is not learning? All right, so basically that's how both the three of them, the and, the not, and the or, that's how it works literally. So now we are going to use both the and, the not, and the or that I've just explained using this Google, just example, just building up to our research. So this is how we are literally going to use it in our search. So using the search, okay, let me share again my GPT. I hope, okay. Okay, I hope my PPT can be seen again.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so before we use our operators, also we need to the topic has been given, as I talked about, the topic has been given. So we need to look at something very important, which is our keywords. We cannot use the Boolean operators without our keywords. So one thing we need to, like example here, I give example like breast cancer diagnosis using AI techniques. So straight away, maybe we can try to understand, because we need to set our goals, setting the goals, trying to understand what we have been given, even before you copy and just paste it in the search engine, right? So breast cancer diagnosis using AI techniques. Okay, so what am I looking at here? First of all, I'm looking at cancer as a whole, because breast cancer can be found under cancer. So cancer as a whole. So I just write down, okay, cancer. Then I move forward, and then using AI techniques, or artificial intelligence techniques. So what I'll be looking at again is, it's going to be also under artificial intelligence, right? And then I move forward and say, okay, what again under cancer, what am I looking at? Because we have different types of cancer, right? So we are looking at breast cancer. Okay, I write down my breast cancer. Then here comes a little bit where we need to put effort into it, where we need to, when we identify our keywords, we need to try to see, okay, are there some synonyms to our keywords that we are looking at? Okay, so breast cancer as a whole, breast cancer, breast cancer as a whole, slash, what is our keyword? Our keyword here, maybe you need to, depending on the type you are using. So breast cancer here, I'm going to use like breast carcinoma as a synonym to breast cancer. And then I look at it again, I have AI technique. So which word can align with AI technique or can be a synonym to AI technique? So I can talk about maybe AI methods, right? So then here you can, that is the breaking down that you are doing. So in this case, okay, I say I have breast cancer diagnosis. Another way that I can put breast cancer diagnosis may be something like breast cancer screening, right? Breast cancer screening. So when you have been able to break it down like this, then you use your Boolean operator. So now I'm going to search for something like breast cancer diagnosis or breast carcinoma, or maybe AI techniques or AI methods. So in that case, you have gotten two ways that you are going to tell Google Scholar to do for you in two different ways. Or maybe we are talking about here, we have breast cancer, and then we are talking also about something like AI techniques. So we can say breast cancer and AI techniques. So putting two entities that we want to, two different sections of our topic that has been given into one. So breast cancer and AI techniques. So straight away we can just go straight and right. We can go straight. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. We can go to Google Scholar. Okay. So using our the world's best search engine, Google Scholar, to just search, do a little bit of work here. All right. Okay, so we go to our Google Scholar, and then we said we are going to make use of what we just from our PPT, like breast cancer. We have gotten our synonyms, so we are going to use them together. All right, so straight away, we can say breast cancer, because we had one synonym for breast cancer. So maybe breast cancer, put it in small letters, breast cancer, or breast cancer. Oh, right. Okay. And then I told the Boolean operator has to be in capital so that Google Scholar will identify like this is a Boolean operator. So now what I'm trying to tell Google Scholar is breast cancer or breast carcinoma, it's what I want you to show me. It can be anything about breast cancer or it can be anything about breast carcinoma. So straight away I just search and then boom, here I can see breast cancer, another breast cancer, and under this one, and I didn't give it any prompt, so it can actually be in the heading or the heading of the paper, or it can be in the middle, right? Like breast cancer carcinoma, we can see here breast cancer, it's in the paper, but the breast cancer is the topic, so it can be like that. So carcinoma, breast carcinoma, here it's not breast cancer is here, but here breast carcinoma only, not breast cancer. So right, so what I'm trying to say here is giving prompts like giving information about breast cancer or breast carcinoma. So basically, this is how we put our prompts. All right, so what if we don't want that and then we want something, we want to use the end. So with the use of the end, we put our end. So we want to see something about breast cancer and AI techniques, right? So breast cancer and AI techniques put together, that is what we want to see. So now I'm telling Google Scholar, like, give me information or give me papers that has breast cancer and AI techniques put together in it. So, right, I just search and I see, go through and see. And one thing we need to know, I didn't give it any prompt. If it should be in the heading or it can be in the middle of it can be anywhere. So breast cancer and AI techniques. So breast cancer right here, and we can see AI techniques. So breast cancer detection using AI techniques. All right. AI, artificial intelligence, and then breast cancer also here. artificial intelligence breast cancer here. So this is a way of refining, like telling Google Scholar, like, this is what I want you to do for me by using the Boolean operators. Before I end, I think by 3:30, I need to pause for them to take a break, and then another program will begin. So example, let me use another example of a Boolean operator is the inverted commas. Inverted commas, where you can give Google Scholar, like, inverted commas, give Google Scholar a particular statement and put it in this inverted double quotation marks, and then telling Google Scholar, like, this sentence, I want to see it together. It can be in the heading, it can be in the middle of a paper, but then I just want to see it together. So breast cancer and AI techniques, and I give it double quotation marks. So let's search and see what we have. Right. Okay. So here I search breast cancer and AI techniques put together in double quotation mark, and it does not match any article, meaning that breast cancer and AI techniques put together here, it doesn't match any article. Like, it's supposed to be systematic, like breast cancer and AI techniques. It doesn't match any article that Google Scholar has. So then I can abandon it, and then maybe I can change it and put like breast cancer diagnosis. Breast cancer diagnosis put together in double quotation marks, and then I search. This means that it's supposed to give me papers related to breast cancer diagnosis, but then it's supposed to be in this particular form. I need to see breast cancer diagnosis, not separated. So I search, all right. So then I see breast cancer diagnosis. This paper, breast cancer, it's already in the topic. Breast cancer diagnosis again, breast cancer diagnosis. Breast cancer diagnosis. So we understand how it's going. We can use the and, we can use the or, we can use the double quotation marks, in which the double quotation marks telling us, like, give me a paper, you give the topic to Google Scholar and give me the paper with this particular topic, but then in double quotation marks, meaning that it's supposed to be in this particular form. Don't, like, example, maybe you don't want to see breast cancer one side and diagnosis one side, but then it's supposed to be in line without separation. So this is how we use some of these Boolean operators in Google Scholar. So I would like to take the break so that the moderator will take over, and when we resume, we will continue. We have a lot to talk about and more examples to give. So I will pause right now, and the Sir Obed will continue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you